Hey, what's going on, friends, family? My name is Skylent, and nobody really asked me. Nobody really ever asks me anything, ever, but I feel obligated to say some stuff and things, because it's something that a lot of people aren't talking about. Exactly. Specifically, the reason why people aren't asking me these things is why I want to talk about them. And that one thing is going to be subscription services. And there is kind of a divider. There's different kinds of subscription services, just like everyone lumps free to play together. No, there's tons of different kinds of monetization schemes for games. But specifically, what I'm talking about today, or the ones that I really want to promote, is going to be stuff like the Xbox Pass or the EA Pass. And there's a few others. And I guess you almost could, you could put Humble Bundle in there because that gives you access to Trove. And there's a few others on the horizon. And I'm sure there's some that I'm missing. But basically, what I want to talk about is almost kind of promote these services. And there is no advertisement really here. It's not a paid promotion. This is just something that I've personally been enjoying greatly. So I do have Humble Bundle. I do have access to the Trove as well. I'm getting the Xbox Pass because it's only $1 for your first month. And you can kind of play the Outer Worlds, on that. So Outer Worlds for $1 sounds kind of too good to be true. It's not though. It's great. And then I get access to a bunch of other games that I actually wanted to play. And then I actually, for a couple of videos, I wanted to get the EA Pass because you got access to Plants vs. Zombies. And all these prices are either cheaper or about the price of something like Netflix. The Xbox Pass it's like $5 for just the PC version. And in your first month, it's also $1, and then you also get Spotify. So that's like, whoa, that's so good. And then you get access to a bunch of games after that. And I just wanted to just basically say, guys, these passes, like almost every one that I've tried so far, I don't know if there's some that suck, but all of them have been great. Now compare that to just access like $15 a month, access to just Final Fantasy 14, which you also have to buy the boxes. You do have to buy the expansions, you do have to buy the game still. And then you still pay $15 a month for one game? World of Warcraft for one game? At least RuneScape, you don't gotta buy the boxes. And then you can still earn, the subscription in-game. So you pay for 1 month, or maybe even none at all, and you go free to play. So that's pretty cool. I also do enjoy Elder Scrolls Online with its optional subscription services. But when it comes to those kind of things, I still feel like, man, I'm just too much of a penny pincher, even though I make my career on playing lots of different games, especially MMOs. You would think I'd be buying into Arcade, you'd think I'd be, playing more Guild Wars 2. I actually do own all the expansions for Guild Wars 2. You would think I'd be covering these things more because it's just easy views, but no, it's too expensive. It's too expensive, it's too much time. And that kind of goes hand in hand, and that's what I want to talk about is why would I spend money on, like this new Fallout 76 thing? Why would anybody do that? Why $100 a year? But as a premium pass, you still gotta buy the game. I just don't think so. That's just so heinous. So in sort of spite of that announcement, and right now, we have classic World of Warcraft and we have Final Fantasy 14 doing amazing. And there's a lot of other games as a service that are really heinous at the moment, like Anthem, I just want to talk about some things that are really good. So if you want to play Titanfall 2 and you want to play the new Plants vs. Zombies, both games really amazing, and there's a number of others, you can get the EA Pass. It's pretty freaking cheap, and you get some pretty freaking amazing games. It's like Netflix. Obviously, it doesn't have that big of a library, but you could just one and done those games, play them for a month, and far exceed your $14 investment. Even more so with the Xbox Game Pass right now with Outer Worlds, oh my god. And of course, Humble Bundle, if you want to do that for the Trove, a lot of fun games in there, but of course also you're getting like those monthly games thrown at you. And then we can go into like the gray area, the gray zone. Now let's talk about some ones that really suck. PlayStation 4, you kind of suck. I was actually subscribed for like a year because I really wanted to play Destiny to an extent, which I basically didn't. Complete waste of money, hundreds of dollars wasted. And then I really wanted to play online Bloodborne. Yeah, so that's cool. I did a little bit of that. Not really worth the year, but I thought it was still worth keeping just in case I ever wanted to play those games in the future, but also because you got free games every month. But then eventually I was like, okay, I'm done with PlayStation Plus. I canceled it. But you know what? your licenses to those games that you got free every month gets revoked. So it's not just like this digital library that you can have at any time. You have to be subscribed for that month to get access to the game. But then once you unsubscribe, you lose access to all those games. What the fuck? It's like Indian giving, which is also kind of a racist term, but whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry. But anyways, I don't know where I grew up. There is some terms that maybe I don't even know the ramifications for. But anyways, I just feel like that really sucks. And now Nintendo Switch, just the idea of paying for an online service for consoles is complete bullshit to me. But I really liked Smash. I was having so much fun with Smash. So I wanted to get it. But, none of these services are really trying to improve the online, it seems. None of them actually do anything. But, when they offer stuff like how Nintendo has like these free games or you get access to their library of like Super Nintendo games, I think that's really cool. But also, I'm just going to say this, I think it's really bullshit that the library is so limited. I think it's kind of cool that you play co-op and apparently online with some games, or all games, maybe? I don't know. I haven't really tested it out too much. But it's just like, man, Nintendo Online could be so much better for how much money they're asking, when originally the online was totally free. It's really kind of fucky, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the sort of Netflix or style game subscriptions, I think that's really freaking awesome. I think that's really amazing. Now, there are a few out there actually that I started to kind of play with, and these are instead of letting you download the games, they are cloud-based. So you might see some stuff like Stadia, though. I don't know if Stadia has a subscription-based service. I think you still got to buy the games. Hopefully Stadia does a subscription service in the future if it doesn't have it already. But I played a bunch of these cloud-based ones, and I just they kind of sucked. But now that I have fiber internet, maybe it's a little bit more worthwhile. And maybe now that technology, I mean, at least Google seems to be like very confident in it. Now that the technology is kind of a little bit more forward, maybe it is a little bit more worthwhile, but probably still not for everyone. But in the end, I just still got to say, I really want to say that I'm a big fan of this movement of Netflix for games. It kind of does suck that a lot of companies are totally behind. And I wish EA put more games on their service. They could seem kind of stingy about it because I feel like it's something that everyone could have. And I really wish Steam did something like this. There's no reason why Valve doesn't have it for specifically Valve games and specifically curated other titles that are maybe Valve-ish, Valve-like, or that the overall Steam community has found beloved, especially like a lot of greenlighted games. And really, it would be great if they put a bunch of indie games on there. I actually have done lists on the best $1 games, best $5 games, just like the best like really cheap games. And a lot of those are really popular and well-known, but some of them aren't. And some games that I wish I could put on those lists have like no players. It would be really cool if those would put on like some sort of subscription service. In fact, if I knew how to set that up, that sort of business model, I would do that. I absolutely would do that. There's a number of games that I really wish were more popular, especially a lot of fighting games, a lot of racing games that, they cost money, like Skullgirls, that costs money. But if Skullgirls was part of like some sort of fighting game subscription package, then all these niche fighting games that have no players on PC, or really just no players period, they would be repopulated because everyone would be just jumping from game to game because there's no barrier to entry aside from the general subscription. Which is why Netflix is doing so great and people are finding a lot of fun in, shitty horror movies that they normally wouldn't, go out and buy or rent. But if it's on Netflix, you can have a good time. Barriers to entry matter. As somebody who makes a living, and I make money covering games, I didn't want to pay $5 for Titanfall 2. I'm sorry, I didn't feel like it. I wasn't gonna pay like the $30 for Plants vs. Zombies. But, on the subscription, I've already spent more than that combined, because I have the ability to play those games whenever I want, pick and choose, and then I have extra options as well, and it feels so much more worthwhile, and just generally, I really appreciate it. Now, in the end, there is some controversy because it's like you don't really own the games. It's harder to mod these games, apparently, or we can assume in the future. it wouldn't really work out. You know, I can see that. I hear you. I see you. But at the same time, these games, because of that lower barrier to entry, especially the sort of perforation when it comes to online games like Titanfall 2 and Plants vs. Zombies, these games don't have very high population numbers, but because of the service, maybe they have that little extra bump and that fluidity of people coming in during certain events when normally they just would not, because they normally would not own the game. So, should we have more of these? Yes, but I would really appreciate a new service, especially if Valve could do this, on Steam, if it was more inclusive. Like I said, right now it's just EA games, very specific EA games. We have just very specific Nintendo games and et cetera, et cetera. And I really wish we just had really a proper Netflix of gaming, which I think Stadia is kind of trying to do. But then again, that's also cloud gaming. That's also, I don't even think they have a subscription service. And please forgive me for being ignorant, but Stadia is kind of just jumping at us at the moment, so I don't really know how they're doing their services. But I think that really I'm gonna hit you on Valve, or maybe even GOG probably could do that. That'd be pretty cool. But let me know your thoughts and feelings on subscription services. I know a lot of people hate cable companies and how cable companies do that. And right now, I know I'm subscribed to like Hulu, Crunchyroll, Netflix, Amazon Prime. I've got so many different subscriptions, but honestly, I'm finding so much worth out of all of them that I don't even care. And even then, with all these different subscriptions, games and video combined, it's still actually cheaper than, you know, most cable provider packages without the advertisements. So in the end, I'm really okay with it. I'm really fine with it as long as they're worth. And remember, guys, just because it is a subscription doesn't mean you have to stay subscribed. Pick it up for a month, you know, and then cancel your subscription and just get your worthwhileness out of that. You know, one and done the campaign for Titanfall 2 or demo out Plants vs. Zombies. You know, get your fill of it and then you're done. You don't have to stay subscribed. Which generally for Netflix or for Crunchyroll to watch the series, you do. But for games, you don't have to play games like that. If you want to jump around, you know, you can actually do that. Be a smart consumer, guys. And that's actually kind of the end moral of the video, is I'm saying that it seems to be smart to spend your money wisely with these subscription services. Like, spend $1 right now and you get the Outer Worlds. You can play that for a month, one and done it, maybe replay it a couple times. You know, you saved $59. That's just freaking amazing. Then you have access to a bunch of other games afterwards. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just really happy moving forward. It seems like I want to go in that direction. I want to have subscription services. I want to be able to jump around and play lots of different games. And most importantly, I want those games to be more populated. You know, on average, having players spread out and jumping from game to game with me, you know, I think has a healthier ecosystem. Because, you know, here I like playing online games. And often is the case that these games, especially like Titanfall 2, they kind of go under. They lose fan bases or player bases, and it's harder to get into them, and it's harder to justify even the $5 maybe or $10 to jump in and play, because, you know, then what's the point? Who am I going to play with? It's a hard sell. But subscription services make it easy, and I think we're becoming more comfortable with them. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Let me know. Much love, friends and family, and keep that hype alive. My name is Skylent, and I'll see you again next time.